Hello, guys. MonsterSoundz here. Welcome to the beat breakdown of Formula 1, Firstklaz featuring Psycho YP. Stay tuned and enjoy. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Peace and love. Yeah, wonderful people. We're back again with another episode of Beat Breakdown. Formula 1 by Firstklaz featuring Psycho YP. I hope I break the beat to a point where everyone can understand like why I did with some certain stuff. Yeah, because this sound, like when I was making this sound, I was kind of like more of outside. I was always outside, like the energy of the club. So like I just pray like I break it down for you guys enough. Yeah. I started with the kick. On this, like I started with the kick. So the kick gave me this direction, like you guys. I started with the kick. Yeah. So after the kick, I added like this sample, this synth bass, like yeah, yeah. So like this is like the main drivers of the song, yeah. For the intro, yeah. So I wanted the beat to have like a lot of air, like going into the beat, because yeah, like I wanted the artist to like flow more like he's a rapper on it. So like I added this bass to like to just go like round, like just be going. Yeah, this bass. I added this bass. You can feel it. Like it's Hive. I used Hive, and I used GMS bass. I used that to play the bass, and this bass is continuous like throughout the beats, like it's like pretty much everywhere. So like after that I added some percussions like this. So like I also added this percussion. So added this. So like everything together sounds like this. Yeah. So like after that, then like the drums and the bass, this bass, yeah, they just continue like yeah. So like with different stuffs coming in at intervals. Like I like to like just add stuffs around my beat, just adding stuffs, remove stuffs, adding stuffs like okay, this is the guitar sound I also added also. So like I just add stuffs and change the feeling of the song. Like when I was making this beat, I had an idea of like a room, a party room, like how that has like a what will I say, a penthouse that has different rooms, like so each room has a feel, like you feel when you enter the room. So that was the idea I had. So after every four bars, I tend to add stuffs and reduce stuffs, like the vibe of that, like the rooms. So that's the idea I had making this beat. So along the line, doing like Firstklaz verses, I made it like simple as possible, like because his lines were he was just hitting with punchlines and all, like so I made it as easy as possible. So like now maybe the guy where your killer gun jam, you should tell say she get uncle for lucky. Your killer gun go need panadol, I dey give her headache piping. I dey waka gun quick, my own for two at the pool, do. I want screw Formula 1. Put down for gear, I want other stuffs like Apollo no decides me again. I am my ex no the pally again. Private jet to be Ari
speak again. I don't know you well, I'll pass you the Jane. I saw Joe, Mopono, they guide me again.
Yeah. So the most interesting part of this beat is when like Psycho YP came in, his vocals. So like I tried to like bring the difference in Firstklaz's and Psycho YP's parts. So like Psycho YP, like I told you guys I had I made the beats like when in penthouse with different rooms, like so when you enter the room where Psycho YP is, like it's just like there's a whole lot of party and fun like really happening there. So I switched up the beats at that part. I added more elements at that part. So like this is how it sounds. Yeah, so but before we entered that Psycho YP part, I had to like usher like the beat at that part. So I added snares like so I added that. So Psycho YP's parts. Yeah, let's go. I added more percussions on that also and more like instruments. So yeah, shakers, then snare, so I added the bass also for the first 4 bars, like then the remaining 8 bars. So let's listen with Psycho YP's vocals and like feel the vibe like at that part.
Godzilla, Godzilla, 10 bottles of tequila. I tell you, shorty, when she call me again. I tell my nigga never done. Big white B, you cannot divorce my brain. This is not a new discovery, no. Fat shit, hella high, low key, slow. Back then, I was a playboy, PlayStation, till I switch like Nintendo. Me, I love you, cause you love me so.
Yeah. So this part also, like, I actually released the groove at this part. So like open up the groove like at this part. So I added some stuffs, some sounds, like this sound from the beginning, from the intro. You could hear this sound, like so like it's just like a layered bass, you get. Okay, so I also added like this synth sound also. Yeah, so like to give it that sci-fi sound, you get. So vocal chops also, like I just did a little tweaking on it. So this is another sound I also added also to give it that feel. So let me play everything together. So you get, so like let me add it, let me play with the vocals. Yeah. Yeah, so like I added that to like give it that feel, like from the beginning I just had that bass, that's normal regular bass I added from the beginning. So I made this part to like have the party feel, like maybe like when you enter the room with a lot of girls, like a lot of things going on, everybody's just on their vibe, like you get. So like that's why I did with this part, and that was like my intentions. Like
till I switch like Nintendo. Me, I love you cause you love me so. I stay high, me, I stay really down. If you see me with down, shorty telling me I'm never at home. I've been outside here, you when I'm home, get glad no. So when I'm home, get glad no.
Yeah, the second verse of this song is like very, very powerful. I love the delivery of Firstklaz on this. Like it's very, very, very dope. Like he has this swag to it. So like I also approached it like how I approached the first verse, but like I had a little tweak on this also. After every four bars, stuffs were coming in and going out. That's how I like to make my beats. Everybody's process is actually quite different though. Like just choose what you feel like, what you're comfortable doing. Like I love to work the way I like to work. I like to add stuffs and remove them along the line. Like I don't like my beats to be plain. Like I just like to experiment with my beats. So like going into the second verse, I actually made the vibe like calm. Like I was entering another room in the penthouse, the party, that idea like I had from the beginning. So I actually brought everything down at that part. So let's hear.
Firstklaz. If you see me laugh na balloon, before you see me live na kalu. You know if you see me inside Kabu, I'm in a Lambo with a Fago. If you see me spit na bedu, if you see me with chick na bedroom. Oh me da. Shorty say I'm economical. I expect no be NSC. Could get give a Chelsea.
So yeah, just adding stuff, bringing them, removing them, taking them back. Like I added at these parts. So this sound I added also. I added this sound also at this part to give it like that cipher feeling also. Like so I just did a whole lot of like subtraction and addition at the end, like towards the ending of this verse. I was just adding stuffs, removing stuffs, like the way I feel. Like no rules. There was no rules like making this shit. Like I just added stuffs. I was just adding and removing basically. So like it's just on you.
If you see me spit na bedu, if you see me with chick na bedroom. Oh me da. Shorty say I'm economical. I expect no be NSC. I could get give a Chelsea. Or give a la coco.
Shorty with the best in la coco. Yeah, I added log drums also. I just felt like after making the beats, I just felt like I needed to add log drums also to give it that banger, like that vibe I was looking for. So I added these log drums to the beats. You get like to just complement the whole sound, like the whole vibe, you get. So I added that to it. Also I added this rise house, like obviously like in the beats, like rise house comes at interval. I also added this log drum also to give it another feeling, to like that club feeling, you get. Yeah, you get. So you just so basically I was just like chopping stuffs, like just chopping, adding and removing, like you get, subtracting and addition, like you get, chopping. So sometimes like beats are like different, they have different vibes. Sometimes you start with melodies, sometimes you start with drums. Like me, sometimes I go with the flow, like how I feel. Like if I go out sometimes, maybe go to the club, like the vibe, the bounce, I can maybe use it to start a beat or something, like just generate anything out of it. So like that's just my whole process, like around this stuff. Yeah, the beat is quite simple, like, but like it's heavy. If you can hear, like there's a whole lot going on, but like it's quite minimal. Like you can see that everything is like in order, you get, in like arranged. There are some parts you hear some stuff, some parts you may not hear it again, like. So that's how like the whole vibe is. It's just a vibe. So like let's listen from the top.
Ladies and gentlemen, please fasten your seatbelts. The flight is about to take off.
the low, I the paragon high key. Now maybe the guy where your killer gun jam. If she tell you say she get uncle for lucky, your killer gun go need panadol. I the give her head dick piping. I the waka gun quick go. My own for two at the pool do. I want screw Formula 1. Put down for gear I want. My polo no decides me again. I am my ex no the pally again. Private jet to be Arik again. I don't know you well, I'll pass you the Jane. I saw Joe, Mopo no they guide me again. I love that booty, it's on jazz again. But let's see for I on the side to again. The Bible they buy no be grams again. Talking la. All of the girls we are they with na Brazilian. Godzilla, me gun Godzilla. 10 bottles of tequila. I'm a girl,
I tell you, shorty, when she call me again. I tell my nigga never don't. Big white B, you cannot divorce my brain. This is not a new discovery, no. Fact shit, hella high, low key, slow. Back then, I was a Playboy, PlayStation, till I switch like Nintendo. Me, I love you, cause you love me so. White B, yeah, I stay high, me, I stay really down. If you see me return, shorty telling me I'm never at home, shorty. I've been outside, here you gone. When I'm home, get glad, no. So when I'm home, get glad, no.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I hope like I did justice to this, even though like I didn't cover like basically everything I did, my whole process, but like I hope like with these few like stuffs I've shown, it was able to do something. Thank you guys for watching.